Hi, my name is Leslie Zaragoza, and today I'm going to teach you how to divide with I. So the first thing we have to know is what I stands for. And so I equals the square root of -1, therefore I squared equals -1. But when you're dividing with I cannot be in the denominator, so we're going to have to multiply by the conjugate if that happens, which means we're going to have to change the sign in between the two terms to the opposite sign. And the answer has to be in a plus bi form. The first example is 2 divided by 7i, and since I is in the bottom, the first thing we're going to have to do is multiply by the conjugate. So instead of positive 7i, we're going to multiply it by negative 7i over negative 7i. That's going to equal negative 14i as our numerator and negative 49i squared in our denominator. So as I said before, I squared equals -1. So now we have to plug in -1 to wherever the I squared is. So we're going to get negative 14i over negative 49 times -1. So the negatives cancel. You're just going to get negative 14i over 49. 14 and 49 can both be divided by 7. And as a numerator, we're going to get negative 2i over 7. And all we have to do now is check that it is in a plus bi form. And since it is, we're just going to box that, and that's our answer for the first example. Okay, so for the second example, we have I divided by 4 plus I. And since I is on the bottom, we're going to have to multiply by the conjugate again, which is 4 minus I instead of 4 plus I. For the top, we're just going to have to distribute the I. We're going to get 4I minus I squared over, and for the bottom ones, we're going to have to do FOIL, which is first, outer, inner, last. 4 times 4 equals 16. 4 times negative I equals negative 4i. I times 4 equals positive 4i. And positive I multiplied by negative I equals negative I squared. So here we can see negative 4i plus 4i cancels, and the I squareds should be changed to -1 because that is what I squared equals. So we're going to have 4i minus -1 over 16 minus -1. That is going to equal 4i. The negative and the negative become a positive. So it's going to be plus 1 over 16, and then negative times a negative equals positive. So 16 plus 1. You're going to get 4i plus 1, the same thing on the top. And 16 plus 1 is 17. So since you have a binomial divided by a monomial, we have to divide into two separate fractions. We're going to have 4i over 17 plus 1 over 17. Now we have to make sure that the answer is going to be written in a plus bi form, and right now it's in I plus a, in bi plus a form. So we're going to have to switch that to 1 over 17 plus 4i over 17, and we're going to go ahead and box that, and that's our answer for example number 2. The third example says I divided by 6 plus 2i. Since I is in the bottom, again we have to multiply by its conjugate, which is going to be 6 minus 2i over 6 minus 2i. For the top, we just have to distribute the I to both places. You're going to get 6i minus 2i squared over, for the denominators, we have to do FOIL again, which is first, outer, inner, last. 6 times 6 equals 36. 6 times -2i equals -12i. 2 I times 6 equals positive 12i. And 2i times negative 2i equals negative 4i squared. The negative 12i and the positive 12i cancel out. So you're going to be left with 6i minus 2i squared over 36 minus 4i squared. But I squared equals negative 1, so we have to plug in the negative 1 to wherever you see an I squared. That's going to equal 6i minus 2 times negative 1 over 36 minus 4 times negative 1. That is going to equal 6i. A negative times a negative equals a positive. So plus 2. And a negative times a negative equals a positive again. So 36 plus 4. You add the denominators together. 36 plus 4 equals 40. And since you have a binomial divided by a monomial, you have to divide it into two separate fractions. So you're going to get 6i divided by 40 plus 2 over 40. Now both of these can be divided. This can be divided by 2. And this can be divided by 2 as well. You're going to get, for this fraction, you're going to get 3i divided by 20 plus 1 over 20. Now since this is in an a plus bi form, we're going to have to flip it to make it a plus bi form. So we're going to get 1 over 20 plus 3i over 20. We're going to go ahead and box that, and that's our final answer. So here are the 3 examples again, in case you want to check your work. The answer for the first one was negative 2i over 7. The second example had to be divided into 2 fractions because it was a binomial on top of a monomial. So it's 1 over 17 plus 4i divided by 17. And the third example had to be done as well, the same as the second example. So we got 1 over 20 plus 3i over 20. So these were the 3 examples. My name is Leslie Zaragoza. I hope you enjoyed this video.